Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM, AM 630, WMAL.
It is 7:37 in the Morning Majority. You know, there's a couple of big hearings that are happening up on Capitol Hill today. One has to do with Fast and Furious, and Eric Holder is going to testify. And actually, at the top of our 8 o'clock hour, we'll be talking to Senator Chuck Grassley about that hearing. Should be very interesting, so you want to stay tuned for that. The other one has to do with John Corzine, former New Jersey senator, former governor, also in charge of something called MF Global, which went bankrupt.
MF bankrupt is right, yeah.
Well, anyway, Stuart Varney's on the line right now from the Fox Business Network. And Stuart, Mr. Corzine, Governor Corzine, Senator Corzine, going to have some very tough questions to answer today.
And he is going to answer them. That is the news of the day. Everybody expected him to stand up and plead the fifth because he's under criminal investigation. Anything he says in public is germane to that investigation. All the lawyers were telling him, don't say a thing, plead the fifth. Well, he just got a 21-page statement. In advance of his testimony, he will talk. He will not plead the fifth. I've read the statement. It's 21 pages. He says, I apologize to all those affected. I simply do not know where the money is. That's $1.2 billion. He said he was stunned to learn that the money was missing. But he is going to talk. This is very significant, Brian, because this man is a former U.S. senator, former governor of New Jersey. He's the man who took Goldman Sachs public. He's the man who ran MF Global, ran it into the ground because he bet on European debt. And now he's going to talk. This is a big deal.
What is MF Global? Is it a hedge fund? Can you give us an idea of what it's all about?
It's a money management investment fund. That's what it did. Now, about a year ago, I believe, he started buying European debt. He believed that these European countries could not go under. They'd pay off on their debt and pay off big time. He got it completely wrong. He ignored the advice of his risk manager, who subsequently resigned, went ahead, held this European debt, and ran the company into the ground. Now, the charge is that he used customer money illegally to back up the declining, spiraling down MF Global company. That would be illegal.
All right. That is a form of a Ponzi scheme, I guess, where you're taking money that's coming in and paying off some of your old debts with that money instead of actually investing it, right?
Well, it's illegal.
Yeah.
And what's unique is the position of this very high-ranking Democrat, very high-ranking Wall Street guy, literally in the dock answering questions from congressmen today, and he is going to talk.
All right. Do you have any doubt in your mind that he knows where that money went or knows where that money is? Is it possible that he really doesn't have any idea where the money went?
I'm skeptical because in the age of the computer, you leave an electronic trail, do you not?
I don't think so.
And surely that can be followed relatively easily. I mean, this story broke 4 or 5 weeks ago. Why don't we know by now?
Well, and what does that say about him? If he doesn't know where the money is, who does? And is he implicating someone else as stealing
Karen,
it? Or
Karen, you raise a very good legal question because under Sarbanes-Oxley, the chief executive officer of a company is legally liable for the accounting of that company. He is legally liable for what happened at MF Global. He can't push it off to somebody else. He can say, my involvement in the accounting process was limited. So what? He's the CEO. Sarbanes-Oxley nails him.
I want to talk to you about this pipeline deal that got put aside and talk of a possible deal with the Obama administration. If you want that payroll tax cut extended, then, get busy and let us build the pipeline, which is going to create jobs and provide us with a stable source of oil. And, what do you think about those negotiations and the president's statement yesterday that he would reject such a deal?
Well, I am astounded that the president, one more time, rejects 20,000 jobs, friendship with Canada, energy independence, and thereby rejects a payroll tax holiday extension. I'm astonished at this. I mean, how many studies have we had of this pipeline? How much oil does it have to deliver to China instead of us? And the president says, no, we're not going to build it. That is simply astonishing. It speaks volumes about our total lack of an energy policy in America today. I'm flat out astonished by it.
All right, what about extending the payroll tax holiday? How much of an impact will that actually have on the economy? And what if it's not paid for?
Well, very little impact on the economy. It's about what, 25, 30 bucks a week for the average family.
It's about $1,000 a year, something like that. Yeah.
That's not a big impact. It's already in place, and it's not had a big impact already. So if you extend it, nobody can tell me whether that creates new jobs or not. Frankly, I don't think it does. I think it's entirely political. It looks bad if you say every working person is now going to get a tax hike.
Right.
Politically, looks bad. Economically, no impact.
And we've been fighting about this for weeks here. It's always been my position that we all talk about entitlements being the problem, and if you're not going to actually slow down the amount of money you're handing out in Social Security, and you're going to raid from the fund, you're only making the problem worse when it comes to entitlement. So why even think about extending this thing?
Yeah, because it's politically attractive. That's why. I mean, if you can say, hey, I'm giving every working person a modest tax decrease, a modest tax cut. Kind of looks good, doesn't it? You're doing something. You're helping Mr. and Mrs. America. In fact, you're not much, but it looks politically good. That's why we're doing it. And I guess they're saying, well, look, it doesn't make much of a difference to the Social Security Trust Fund. It's only, what, $120 billion.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of money to me, Stuart.
We've lost all touch with reality, have we not?
Yeah, I think so. All right, Stuart, good to talk to you as always. We appreciate